Hello and welcome to CX and Luxury Retail, Redefining Digital Experiences, where today we'll be discussing how data and technology work together to improve customer experience and drive customer loyalty. We'll be taking a deeper look into end-to-end omnichannel experiences. I'm Vern Trimble, and today I'm joined by April Weber, CX Marketing Director at Infobip, and Francesco Iavarone, Senior Director of North American Logistics Businesses Support at EssilorLuxottica. Thank you, and let's get started. How are you both doing today?
We're doing great. Thank you, Vern.
Doing great.
Fantastic. Great. I'd love to take a moment for you guys to introduce yourself to our listeners today. You want to start with you, April?
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, I'm customer marketing expert here at Infobip, and I'm involved in everything customer marketing. So I'm excited about this conversation, especially with Francesco, and I'd love to hear more about Francesco.
Thank you, April. I'll introduce myself very quickly. My name is Francesco Iavarone, and as mentioned, I'm the Senior Director for Logistics Business Support at EssilorLuxottica. For who is not familiar with my company, with EssilorLuxottica, I'd like to share a brief overview. EssilorLuxottica is a fully integrated player and a global leader in the design, manufacture, and distribution of ophthalmic lenses, frames, and sunglasses. We are bringing together two companies previously, Essilor as a pioneer in the development of advanced lens technologies, and Luxottica, a pioneer in the craftsmanship of iconic eyewear, with brands such as Ray-Ban, Oakley, and Costa. We have about 180,000 employees globally committed to providing vision care and eyewear products that meet individual needs and aspirations of each customer.
That's phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. Folks, I want to jump right in to start providing value to our listeners today. So I'm going to start with the very first question, which is what defines a good customer experience? And to tag on to that, how do customer experiences differ in the luxury retail space when compared to other non-luxury retail industries? You want to start with you, Francesco?
Sure. I do believe that great customer experience is a customer experience, a purchasing experience in which the customer has full visibility of its order. We want to give a promise delivery dates, especially when you're talking about e-commerce, digital purchases. And we're giving you a promise we're making a promise with you when you do your purchase. Mm-hmm. We want to maintain that promise no matter what. So we think that it's important to develop both systems on the back end to make sure that all of the supply chain and operation is able to meet this promise, but also on the front end in terms of communication to you, the customer, in case anything breaks down through the process and there is some unfortunate event that is going to delay the delivery of your order. And in that case, I think it's important to maintain an open line of communication and let you know before this happens.
April, do you want to add on to that from the same question? What defines a good customer experience?
Yes, I think that in today's world, it's combining that brick and mortar and a digital experience, phygital, if you will. And to me, phygital is omnichannel, right? It's pulling in all the channels, and I think that's what really is going to be defining it in the future. You're looking at what does that look like, and how do companies kind of jump into this phygital space and pulling it forward. I think that's really going to be the.
Absolutely. I think that's really great. I like to define it as dropping the E in e-commerce, where there is a bringing together of both the digital and the in-store experience. So that's really great. Francesco, you talked.
Maybe I can add on this. I would like to add on this point, bringing together digital and the brick and mortar. We are lucky enough to have an integrated supply chain, an integrated business model where we own from the upstream, from the factories with the production, to the downstream, to the retail stores. In this way, we are lucky enough to be able to, let's say, bridge that gap that was mentioned between digital and physical, in many cases where we can leverage on our e-commerce channel to fulfill orders that are placed physically in the store when the stock is not available in the store.
That's really interesting. That's a really interesting perspective, Francesco, especially considering that most brands don't necessarily have access to their own supply chains.
That's true. That's true, and it's something that I think my company, EssilorLuxottica, is very has been definitely a visionary in developing this business model that can allow us to leverage on these resources.
Now, from an industry perspective, how do you feel, or what do you think about the supply chain issues that most marketers and brands are experiencing right now, and the impact that will have on buyer behavior this holiday shopping season?
Well, sure. I don't want to sound repetitive in mentioning again our vertical integrated business model, but I think that compared to other companies in the industry, we have been lucky enough to control our own production. Since, let's say, basically the pandemic, we didn't have well, yes, we did face our challenges for sure, like everybody, but not as much as probably other companies. So we were, even through the pandemic, we were able to deliver product to our customers, and that's definitely giving us a competitive advantage. On one end, yes, we still faced, let's say, the challenges in terms of global transportation, with also the increased rates for global forwarders. But at the same time, we were able, until now, not to, let's say, to keep this extra cost on our side and not deploy them on our customers.
Consumers require more. Like we have set a precedent where consumers have a certain expectation, and you certainly have established an expectation that is premium. So another question that I have is, how has the rise of digital services impacted customers' expectation in the last 18 months?
Yeah. Absolutely. I was going to say, I think with the cross between it is consumers are expecting things instant, connected, and engaged. I mean, instantly, they want their products and services to be offered immediately at the right person at the right time. They want to make sure it's connected, meaning that if they're receiving the same quality both in the store and as well as online, and they want it to be engaged, in order that to be engaged, they have to be fun, interactive, and convenient. So I think it's one of those things that has changed. It changed quickly. The retail stores that weren't on it in 2020, it changed immensely fast. And I think that's something that customers are demanding, right? They want to it's got to be instant, connected, and engaged, which is hard delivery. That's a hard thing to deliver on, I think.
It is indeed. Francesco, would you like to add anything to that?
No, sure. I can just be with April in her comments, meaning that the shift to e-commerce has been significant also for us. And from a logistics and operation perspective, this changes the mix, let's say, of what you are shipping from your DCs. True for us, but true for all the other companies. When you're shipping to wholesale or to retail, you're shipping bigger orders, right? That are more let's say scheduled, while when you're shipping to customers through the e-commerce channels, you're shipping smaller orders. So you have to adapt, let's say, also how you manage the warehouses and the workforce that you have available to meet this new type of order mix and meet also the lead time and expectations of customers that buy online.
Oh, that's fantastic. I want to shift a little bit. I know that a lot of us think about, especially this holiday shopping season, what a lot of our big box retailers are offering, some of the special promotions, and their need to ultimately proliferate their message out to the market to capture market share and voices and eyes rather. But from the perspective of luxury retailers, what has been the need, or seeing the need for you, Francesco, to develop an end-to-end omnichannel experience? How important has that been in your strategy?
Especially in the retail segment, you mean?
Especially in the luxury
retail. In the luxury segment.
Yes.
Yeah, nowadays, with access to information that customers have, focusing only on price is not the strategy to follow, especially for luxury goods. Also because your product can be found through different retailers, both online and in store. And sometimes these retailers focus more on price. So you, as the actual brand, should offer something more to your customers. You should offer a more comprehensive experience, an experience that has a broader and deeper offering in terms of range. You have to be able to bundle different products together that only you can do and not other retailers. And especially you need to provide the service that you have promised, going back to what I was saying in the beginning. Providing the best service that you can is really what can set you apart compared to others.
No, this is really good. This is really sage advice. And the next question I have is for you, April. How can organizations deliver more personalized interactions across their digital channels, regardless of where their customer is in the buying journey?
Well, I think a lot of the things we're looking at is people are looking for immersion and interaction. I mean, right? It's a lot of things that they look for. So looking for conversations to be had digitally, utilizing different aspects of tech that you have. You can have two-way conversations with people, but digitally. Can we use AI that actually pulls in things to make people feel hyper-personalized experiences that they're being engaged with? What can we utilize in technology that we have, at our wheelhouse? How are we actually engaging with them the way they want to be engaged with, right? And some of that comes from actually basically asking them, right? Like, getting rid of first, getting that first party data, that zero party data, and actually delivering what they actually are asking for. I think those are a lot of ways that you can look into it. You see a lot of different people engaging in this type of thing. You think of Nike was a great one that, right? Like brought in their shoes where you could go in and digitally build out your experience of your shoes. And, how does that look like? And those are ways that people are actually engaging with their customers, but it isn't, to Francesco's point, it's not on a price point. It's more in the experience and the immersion and delivering it to them the way they want to be delivered to. Maybe they don't want this email conversation about things being delivered to them. Maybe they want it texted to them. Maybe they want that experience that Francesco provides when they say, hey, your delivery's on time, it's coming up. You go into a grocery store and it actually pops up on your phone and says, hey, last week you bought some yogurt. This week that yogurt you bought's on sale and you might want to pick it up in aisle 7. So it's a great experience.
And April, the trick there is to find the right balance between supporting the customer and giving him that experience, and at the same time not being too intrusive. There is definitely not one set formula that is valid for all, but it's really something that companies have to tweak and develop over time, knowing their customer base.
Absolutely.
That's really good. Understanding your customer ultimately is at the heart of delivering customized, personalized interactions and communications. So that leads me to ask, how can retailers keep up with consumers' evolving expectations and buying needs?
Yeah, from my side, I will take that one. I think that the very first thing is ask them. Right? Like ask them and then start implementing. We have tools, we have technology to do so. Ask them and start building that out for their experiences. It is a hyper personalized world, and those are companies that win, right? I think one of the more recent stats was 63% of customers, I believe, they will abandon a brand if things aren't immediate into their expectations, and that's I think, to me, that's a staggering stat to kind of keep up with. But it is one that says that's what they're looking for. They want that experience, and the companies that strive to that, to kind of meet those customer experiences, have those conversations with them, have two-way conversations. I think that's the ones who will win for sure.
Absolutely. Francesco, same question. How's your brand keeping up with evolving expectations?
So, from a pure execution of your order point of view, I think that it's important to increase as much as you can that percentage of orders that can meet the promise that you made to the customer. While in the past, maybe you were looking at a 95% target of accomplishing that promise. Nowadays, you have to try and reach as much as you can that 100%, meaning that all of your orders, as many as you can, close to 100% of your orders are delivered within the promise you made. Why this? Because of course it seems when you ship millions of orders per week, it seems that for the pure statistical point of view, some orders might be delayed. Things can happen. But the problem is that it's not going to be the orders that are being executed on time that are going to make your brand excel. But it's unfortunately the few ones that are not on target out of the promise that are going to create upset customers that are going to destroy your brand possibly online. How do we increase that accuracy and that precision? Through technology. And we continue to invest in technology, both in terms of real-time visibility of the order status on the back end for the operation in DDCs and through the transportation network, so that you can basically break down the fulfillment of your orders in different steps. And if one of the steps is delayed, you're able to proactively intervene before the overall experience is compromised. And also in terms of investing in technologies inside DDCs to make, let's say, the picking and packing processes more automatized and error-free.
That's great, April. That's great, April. Would you agree that just a greater investment in technology right now should be essential to a marketer's overall strategy?
Yes, I think actually that's a yes and a no. I think a greater investment in technology, absolutely. I think that a lot of times, though, we can over invest in a tech stack when we can actually utilize some of the same companies. So I think it's investing in the right technologies and making sure that makes sense. And that's where I think with as much tech as out there is paying attention to what it is you really need to accomplish it for your customers. And that's one of the things I think marketers have to be specifically cognizant of, because there's a lot of technology that is really, really effective, but maybe it's not in the right, in the right perspective. So, increasing technology, yes, but maybe decreasing your tech stack.
That's really good. That's really, really good and sound advice. So especially outcomes and goals.
That's a great point, April, and knowing how to use that technology. Because you can have all the technologies that you want, but if you don't have like sound systems in place to know how to use it, it's pointless to have it.
Right. Yeah.
So good. That money ends up going into a black hole, never to be seen again. You're not fully utilizing that technology. As we get to the end of our conversation, I wanted to check in and see if you guys had any final words that you'd like to say to luxury retailers looking to improve their clients' digital experience.
April, do you want to start or?
Absolutely. I think from my standpoint, again, it is a world that is changing and moving quickly, and it is heavily customer driven, if not 100% customer driven. Which to me just says that we have to stay on top of it. We have to stay on top of this omnichannel digital experience. How are they moving? Where are they moving? And they're moving quickly. They're moving to different places. They move through social channels fast and quick. And you have to be there. You have to be there. So it's watching that, expanding it, not being closed-minded to where you are, as much as letting the data speak back to you from the technology that you're using, and watching it closely and being there for them. I think that's what I would say would be my final thoughts on it.
Fantastic. No, that's great. And Francesco, you.
Yeah, no, my only call out is don't let price drive your strategies, especially now that we are getting into the holiday season with Black Friday and Cyber Monday fast approaching. If you are in the luxury space, especially, do not let your strategy be driven by pure price alone, but focus on the experience that you're providing to your customers. That is what in the last 20 minutes we have been trying, both me and April, to highlight, I think. A better experience, more visibility to your customer of everything that is happening, and a clear and defined promise that you make to your customer that is maintained. That's my call out.
That's absolutely fantastic. And I hope today that our viewers and listeners are able to take away this amazing information that both April and Francesco shared with us and are able to apply that to their strategies. One of the things that I think is particularly important is being able to utilize that advice, apply it, and actually find and see the value yourselves. So thank you again to Francesco and April for joining us. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Also, thank you. And don't forget to register for the next episode of this series, where we'll discuss the importance of two-way conversations before, during, and after the holidays. Again, you've been attending the CX and Luxury Retail Redefining Digital Experience webinar, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.